Welcome to the debate of the week about Tessa Blacha. I'm making it quick, straight to the point. You looked at my Impact review. You will see that I thought about Tessa as another Chyna. And when you really compare the two, I got two pictures of them right now in my face. If I can get two pictures of them in my face. It's just Tessa and Chyna have a lot of similarities. They're both power wrestlers. Of course, Tessa didn't start out as a power wrestler, start out in just weightlifting and then just went directly to wrestling because she wanted to. She met Triple H, Paul Levesque, and Shawn Michaels, and they asked her, hey, you want to start working with us? You can make a lot of money, you can do some wrestling. And she said, okay, I'll do it. And that is the general way that Chyna got started in the business. Not saying that she hadn't tried to learn some wrestling before, I don't really know that. But that's one of the best ways that you could say. Tessa is Tully Blanchard's daughter, and she grew up in the business, and she basically went through, I think, softball and several other, like, strong women or fitness competitions, and eventually she decided to go into wrestling for herself. And there she is right now. And you can say, honestly, Tessa Blanchard can easily be, for the way she looks and the attitude that she's giving off, either she's a real bitch in life or this is a work. It doesn't really matter which one it is. For me personally, I know there's just something off about her. It just gets me. But it doesn't change the fact that I can see her objectively. She is missing certain things because I still believe she's too green in the business. But still, she could be the next Chyna for either Impact or WWE. But what does she need to really get over? Well, as it stands now, there's no way she will be Chyna. Just no way. It won't work. For her by herself, working in Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, or the WWE, as she stands, if she's by herself, it will not work. The only way this is going to work is to have another DX type of crew to really bring her into the fold and make her into an enforcer. That is how the original Chyna, she came in that way. This is what Tessa Blanchard needs to do. It is the only way Tessa is going to get over as another Chyna. Because to be honest, we need a new Chyna. There is no woman, and even though I do like Nia Jax, she's a large woman. She's not a muscular woman like a Tessa Blanchard. The only person that came close to that is a Beth Phoenix, and she never acted like Chyna. But Tessa does. And she's the one that can take up the reins where Laura had left off. Now, how would I book her? Let's say this is Impact, and how would I book her? Well, we just had something at the very end of Impact, which was Killer Kross and Austin Aries. You got a new Shawn Michaels, and you got a new Triple H. And when you got these two together, you can easily try to say, we need some type of chick, a broad, that can be our enforcer, that we can do the business. And then they go to Tessa Blanchard. You don't have to use the name DX, of course. But you can say the Triad or something like that. You could say something like that. I don't know what would be the best name to call them. The Commission. There you go. The Commission. No. The Adjudication Commission. They adjudicate on everybody in Impact, and when they make the decision that that person needs to get what they get, they adjudicate. They take their asses out. There you go. The Adjudication Commission would be the best name I would call them. And you would have Tessa Blanchard as their enforcer for most of the small to medium wrestlers, like the guys in the X Division, like the guys that are like mid-size, like Petey Williams, like Ishimori. And for people like Matt Sydal, like Rick Swann when he finally comes back, and a couple of the guys like what do you want to call it? Like the Cult of Lee, and Trevor Lee and Andrew and Connolly. About to say Everett and Connolly, even DJ Z and Andrew Everett is hot in here. The door's closed to keep the noise out. It is hot in here. But in the end, she could be an enforcer for all the small and medium guys, and Killer Kross takes care of all the big guys. And it would work so well. She is not a weak woman. This woman took Alicia and pressed her ass over her head like she was freaking nothing. That shows how strong she is. I mean, Alicia's like 130, 140 pounds, Most of the guys there are 170, 190, and they wouldn't probably be outside of weight class. She looks like she can lift maybe 200 to 300 pounds easily. So she could probably lift one of those guys up and throw them around like they're nothing. So she could easily be the enforcer, and when the time comes to break them up, she could already have enough credibility on her own as the enforcer, which could be the name for her, it doesn't matter. Tessa Blanchard. Tessa the Enforcer. There you go. She could be called Tessa the Enforcer, and in the end, Tessa could easily not only dominate the Knockouts division, she can go to the Ring of Honor division for Women of Honor, or go back to WWE, and with the credibility she already has, if she goes through NXT, she can be called Tessa the Enforcer. They could say, oh, Tessa was here before, but now she came back, honed her skills, and she became more powerful than anyone there, more dominant. This is how Tessa could truly get over. And I truly believe if there is a DX type of guys, maybe in Austin Aries and Killer Cross, this would help her. I'm hoping that John Collins and Scott DeMont figures it out. But this is just me. You guys tell me below if you think this idea is a good one. Have a good day. Have a good night. Oh my gosh, this room must be over 90 degrees. It's so freaking hot.